Hello guys and welcome to the STPL. I am going to be being lazy. Well, I'm going to be lazy again today, so as you can see, no green screen, but it does mean you get to see the wonderful Lottie once again, as well as the, well, you can kind of see the snowman on the other side. I could actually move him, actually. Let's do that. There we go. No, I fucked it. Okay, that's better. Right, we now have a snowman, we have Lottie, and it's Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas to any of you in Europe who are already celebrating. Obviously, if you're celebrating, you're probably not watching the stream, which is fine, but we do have a cool couple of series coming up for you guys. Well, I am so much on autopilot recently. There is going to be a single series coming up today. It should be a good one though. It's going to be between two of the stronger teams in the STPL. I probably should have done this yesterday to give myself a break today, but you know what? It's Christmas Eve. Let's get some casting done. So going to start off with NaS on the left-hand side of your screen. They've got 25 wins in the match wins, that is, in the STPL overall. They are 0 for 2 against SouL, so that's one thing to take into account. But they are 4 for 4 this round so far. So this game is going to be incredibly important for them. Now, their opponents, this isn't going to be as important for them because they are currently 8-0 in Season 2. They have done an incredibly good job. Of course, their team is filled with some of the best foreign players out there, as well as a lot of the really big name Korean amateurs. So very, very tough team to face up against here. Now I need to put the stream on Team Liquid. I just suddenly realized I hadn't done that, so I'll quickly do that now. It's already done. And let's introduce our rosters for today. So today's roster should be pretty exciting, actually. We've got a lot of mirror matchups, but they're between really, really good players. So we're going to start with a ZVP between Seriosity and Perfume. Seriosity doesn't do PvP, so he's chosen ZVP for this. We're going to have a TBT between Terra and Scan. We're going to have a PvP between Sugo and Bonith. And then we're going to have a ZVZ between Eonzerg and Zealot. And if we get into Game 5, that will be the ace match, of course. And that will be on New Tornado if we get there. Now, I know a lot of people are probably looking at both of these rosters and thinking it's going to be really difficult for NaS to do this. But NaS, I mean, they're the North American squad. And as you can see from there, they do have some of the strongest players in North America. And for the benefit of the team, we're counting Eonzerg and Terra as North America as well to fit their name narrative. But that's fine. They may be from Belgium and Peru, but they are still incredibly good players in the foreign scene. And Sugo's PvP is pretty good. Whether or not he can stand up against Bonith, who arguably has the best PvP outside of Korea, is another thing. But we'll have to see how it's going. Eri, of course, if you don't know who he is, he's Fujikura, the manager of Team SouL. So him saying NaS fighting makes me get the feeling that he thinks SouL is going to win this one. But of course he is going to think that his team is going to win. But eventually SouL is going to have to lose. They lost in Season 1. They did win overall in Season 1. They were the champions. But I reckon someone can take them down. And if there's a team here that can, it's definitely going to be NaS. Now, we are going to be heading into Neo Arkanoid first of all. In terms of ZVP, this map has been very balanced so far. 3 for 3 on this Desert Tile set map. And overall, I mean, this should be a pretty sick game. So I'm looking forward to getting into it. It's game number 1. It's Seriosity versus Perfume. Oh wait, I've not actually introduced the players yet. Let's actually introduce them. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Wow. I'm trying to rush it. Hey customers, so for our Zerg player here, we are going to have Seriosity. Now, he did send me a picture, but it was not of him, so I'm not going to use it. But he is 57% win rate overall. He plays all 3 races, but mainly Zerg and Protoss. This, I believe, is his second, or it's going to be his 5th ZVP. So he has actually played against 4 Protoss before. He's 2 for 2, so not too bad. And his opponent going to be for SouL, it's Perfume. Now, Perfume's only played 4 games, did lose to DeWalt, which was actually SouL's only game loss of the entire tournament so far. But Perfume, of course, a very, very strong Protoss player from South Korea. So we'll have to see how Serios is going to do as we get into game number 1 on Neo Arkanoid. Okay, starting us off here in the bottom right hand position, we do have the purple Protoss fighting for SouL. It's Perfume. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left hand position is the red Zerg fighting for NaS. It's Seriosity. And yeah, custom use, as Dazenary says, Dazenary is actually the manager of SouL, so if you want to know anything about SouL, he's definitely the man to go to. But they are an international clan. They have players from Korea, Peru, Chile, I think. They've also got an American, they've got a Polish player, and they've got a lot of people. I'm not going to drink on stream, but that's mainly because I don't feel well, so I don't know. Well, I do feel a little bit better, but I'm saving up my cider for tomorrow. There's no need to make my casting any worse by drinking. I'll drink some apple juice though, that's kind of like cider, right? Who's your Russian player, Fuji? I promised yesterday that I'll celebrate. Did I? Producer Unknown asks, do I have any cool plans for Christmas? Well, I'm going to my dad's. Hopefully going to play some video games. I'm going to pick up Mario and Sonic at the Olympics tonight and play that tomorrow, I think, because when I was a kid, me and my dad used to play a lot of track and field, so we're going to play that tomorrow, I think. That should be fun. Boxing Day, I'm probably going to stay at home, and I might watch The Witcher. Depending on if I like it, I'll watch the whole thing, most likely. If not, then I will chill out and do some other stuff. I also bought Age of Empires 1 Definitive Edition today, because Age of Empires 1 is one of my favorite games of all time, so it was one of my first RTS games as well. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting to play that after the stream. Funny thing is, I was in work today, just to point out, of course, Seri is going for 1 base 2 hatch, so he's kind of going for... it's almost like a ZVZ build here, but it's not quite. He's going to go for a lot of lings most likely and try and break through. Now that's actually how he tried to beat DeWalt when they played. It didn't work against DeWalt, but maybe it'll work against Perfume, as Perfume's playing a little bit more greedy than DeWalt is. And yeah, just to go back to my work story, essentially this morning I got into work to do some like desk moves because I went to one of our clients. And one of my best friends works with me, and he was there, so we were hanging about a bit. And then a guy who I never thought would play video games, one of the partners of the company, asked me randomly, like, do you play Age of Empires? Because recently I've been really addicted to it. And I was like, wait, what? And essentially, like, his brother started playing it a couple of years ago with his daughter, and my uncle. It's not my uncle. The guy who I was working with was like, and I got my son into it as well, and the difference is they like building really like nice bases, like really well laid out towns and stuff. And he said the trouble is my son and I like built like blowing stuff up. So essentially he said he played with his brother, and now they won't play with him anymore because they kept winning. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I was working on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve isn't a big deal in the UK. Like, most places were shut, but our company wasn't, so we didn't have much work to do. But I did the desk moves. The people in London, I left about 12:30, and the people in that office got sent home at 1:30. But we worked back in our office until 5:30. But the good thing is we're going to be working skeleton staff over the Christmas period, so I only have to go in on Friday, and I've got the rest of the days off, so that's good. But look at this, Seriosity is going to break through. I don't think Perfume has enough to defend against this. Unlike DeWalt, he didn't manage to scout this. And you can see that the Lings are getting on top of everything. The units died very, very quickly. This Nexus is off-center. There's no cannons over here. And Seri may have just pulled a fast one here on Perfume. This could be a very, very quick game. If you've got the 6-minute curse emote through the channel points or a sub, it may be worth getting that ready. As +1 attack is going to be cancelled. Seri is going to be able to get on top of the Stargate and the Nexus. The Corsair, unfortunately, not really going to be able to do too much. If it can find the Overlords, though, it will heavily supply block Seriosity, but it's whether or not Perfume can even survive long enough for this to really come into effect. This is a really big upset. Seriosity is a great player from North America, but honestly, Perfume is one of the up-and-coming best players in the entire STPL, so this is a really, really good win by Seriosity. And in a way, it shows that maybe Perfume didn't research his opponent before the game, because he would have seen that Seri did this exact build against DeWalt, and DeWalt held it perfectly, but he can't. GG, Perfume taps out, and Seriosity takes the second game that SouL have ever lost in the STPL Season 2 to win game number 1. So I'm going to quickly throw up a couple of Christmas videos that I made a while ago, but I forgot to render for the Christmas Cup. So I'll see you guys in just over a minute for game number 2. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for game number 2 of today's STPL. It's going to be Scan versus Terra. Now these two players have actually met before in the STPL. I don't think they've met in the main season. No, they haven't, but they did meet in STPL Christmas Cup number 1. And they played a really, really good, I think it was a best of 3. And it led to one of the best TBTs I've ever managed to cast. So really, really sick to have them back playing each other again. But let's first introduce the map they're going to be playing on. It's going to be Carthage 3. We've had 6 TBTs on here so far, and they've all been relatively good. There's been a few one-sided ones, but of course it is a mirror matchup, so it's not a massive problem. But essentially, it's a really, really good map for TBT. It's very easy to split, so we could have a very long and exciting game between these two players, depending on if one of them wants to choose, or one of them wants to choose to cheese. Now let's actually have a look at our first player here. It's going to be Terra from Peru. Terra is one of the best, if not the best current.
Easily amused, huh?
Oh, thank you Twitch Pefo for the sub, man. Thank you so much. Terra is essentially the best foreign Terran player at the moment, I would say without a doubt. Dandy is of course very, very good, but Terra more recently has been on an absolute tear. I call him the Terran terrorist outside of Korea. Like, I know Fantasy, that was his nickname, but genuinely Terra plays super aggressive.
PogChamp, PogChamp, PogChamp,
Okay,
PogChamp, PogChamp,
I
PogChamp,
really
PogChamp,
need to
PogChamp, PogChamp,
turn off things for emotes. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Ari, for the sub. I'm gonna miss the I'm actually gonna miss the ability to mute that, but Thank you for the thank you for the 11-month resub, man. Means so much. Let's have a look at his opponent. It's going to be Scan. Scan, one of the best Terrans, or one of the best amateur Terrans in Korea. He's up there with Bishop and Bjol, and I believe Shiny, although Shiny got banned from a lot of tournaments, so essentially we don't see him too much around. But Scan is very, very active despite being in the military. He's rank 2 in the STPL overall, and he is a very, very good Terran to watch. He's 8 for 1 against Terran, though. The only loss he had against Terran was in the STPL Season 1 Grand Finals on Eye of the Storm against Cherry. So it just goes to show how strong he is at TVT. Just to quickly have a look, Terra is 6 and 1 against Terran. So this should be a match of titans between these two players. As we get into game number 2, it's Terra versus Scan, the Peruvian powerhouse versus the amazing Scan here on Carthage 3. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have Scan fighting from South Korea for SouL. In the red as Terran. And he's doing something cheeky and spawning down here in the bottom right in the wonderful magenta. It's the Peruvian powerhouse himself. It's Terra fighting for NaS. Now when I see Scan is doing something cheeky, he is going for an 8 racks. Now in TBT, this is pretty much the ultimate gamble build, because honestly, your economy is terrible after this. And it's very, very unlikely to actually do anything, unless Terra decides to 14cc, which given Terra's history and his games that I've seen, I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. This is going to be a difficult game for Scan to win. Like, as long as Terra builds his barracks at 11 and doesn't try and proxy it, he's going to be in a very good spot. Clooney asks in chat is like, it's not fair to have Carthage 3 and no Rome, even number 1, because Rome actually eliminates fucking Carthages. But Carthage was a damn cool civilization in real life. Aren't Carthage historically one of the only civilizations to actually use elephants in combat? Like, this is a really weird thing to bring up, but just imagine, like, you live back in, like, ancient Rome, and you've essentially lived in Italy your entire life, or what was then just Rome, and you go into battle, you're a legionnaire, and suddenly you see this giant monster coming at you, which is an elephant. You've never seen one in your entire life, and essentially it looks like a kaiju or something. Like, how would you possibly deal with that? That must have been terrifying. Bonith is playing after this one. He's playing against Sugo. Now, we've got 2 SCVs have been pulled here for Terry. He's going to lose one of them. No, he keeps it alive. Nicely done by Terry here. He did delay his barracks, which means he doesn't have any SCV or any Marines right now. So it looks like Scan could do a lot of damage, but with good SCV micro, this is certainly within all realms of possibility to hold. And let's get rid of that unit count or unit window just in case. But you can see the Marines have actually been trapped in the corner. Great SCV micro here by Terra. Going to be able to take down at least 2 of those Marines. Going to get the final one. And another Marine going to head back home. Realistically, I feel Scan did enough damage because he did pull enough SCVs off of mining. But his economy is going to be very, very, very bad later on. I'd say if he doesn't keep up his SCV production, but this is Scan, so he will. So both players are going to get their factories. Terra's is going to be done a lot quicker, which means he should get a Vulture immediately and clear up these 3 Marines. Now let's actually have a look at the 2 sets of health. Now, good micro by Terra so far. Going to take out 2 of them. Can he get the 3rd Marine? This would be a massive victory for him. And someone who's way more into history, including us, said they encountered elephants first against Pires of Epirus, way before Carthage. But I mean, legionnaires may have not, right? Yeah, and as Total Gedge says, he'd be afraid of an elephant coming hard at me, even if I am aware of the existence of elephants. That is a very good point. They are incredibly scary. Now, another marine has been killed. Looks like this vulture did manage to get 3 kills there while I wasn't looking, but it's all well and good. NaS are doing incredibly well so far, but Scan, despite losing 1 million marines, is actually ahead. So the reason why I say this is Terra does not have a command center on the way. He's down 3 workers, and yes, he killed a ton of marines, but what does he have to show for it? Scan is in a very good position. They're even on vultures, and that 8 ranks definitely did work out for Scan here. NaS is the North American squad. They do have another name, but I don't like using it. And ironically, it's the North American squad with a Peruvian player playing. Let's just, we'll glance over that, it's fine. The Scan is also going to get a scout off with his factory. Now, there's an armory coming up for Terra already, but he is down in factory count. You can already see that Scan is going to go hard into vultures here off of his 3 factories that he's just producing. Scan definitely showing why he's so good. He is ranked 2 in the STPL for a reason, and it's because no matter what he does early game, his macro is impeccable. Now, Scan should be back from the army soon. I'm not sure if Cadenzi's still here. But essentially, I believe Scan should be back early next year from the military. He was doing his military service. And when he starts streaming again properly, guys, I highly recommend, if you're a Terran player, you give it a watch, because he is incredibly educational. He's got really, really, really good English, as well as really good Korean, obviously. And he is incredibly helpful. He also does replay packs if you sub to him as well. Now, obviously, while he's in the army, he's not able to do that, but as a Terran player to a Terran player, I will say that Scan is definitely a good person to learn from. One of the most amazing things about watching Scan play is no matter what pressure he's under, he always seems to know exactly what to do, and he always stays calm. And as a player myself, that's probably one of the things I struggle with the most. Now, Terra, he's got up to 2 factories here. He's going to be going into tank Goliath off of his 2 bases, so we're going to see the gas taken a lot sooner here for Terra. Obviously, Scan isn't going to need much gas at all. He's probably going to bank minerals until he gets a 3rd command center, but he is going to get his 2nd gas a little bit quicker than I thought he would do, but that's because I think he's going to start transferring out vultures very soon. But one of the benefits of going for 3-fact vulture early on is if we turn off Terra's vision, you'll see that Scan is going to have very good map vision for pretty much the rest of the game now, and that's amazing. Now, Terra is going into a starport. That's going to be a little bit of benefit for him. Whether or not he's going to go into dropship or rates, both of them are very good options in TBT. We don't see any +1 attack coming in yet, so going for a super quick science lead, not really going to add too much to his armory here. That was a really bad pun, but that's fine. Now, one of the things that's going to help Terra here is, yes, he doesn't have many units, but his units are very strong against pure vulture. Now, the problem is, to get anywhere on the map, he's going to have to go through these mines, so they're vultures, these mines, some more vultures and some more mines up here, and even some mines here. So, yes, tanks, Goliaths are all very, very powerful units. They do kill mines relatively quickly, but vultures can still do a little bit of damage to them. And if you move too far out on the map, you're going to end up stuck with a load of vultures backstabbing you. So, certainly not something you want to do. Okay, so Terra's only 2 vultures do get cleaned up. Okay, he's got 1 more, but that doesn't really count. Going into 3 factories here. Interestingly, going for vultures. Now, when you're behind in factories against a Vulture player, it's almost 100% better, I believe. Obviously, I could be wrong here, but I'm fairly certain it's better to just go Goliath. Now, Scan, even knowing the fact he's got a load of gas banked up from previously, he's going into triple machine shop factory, triple tank production, and that really is what's going to allow him to cement this map position he got earlier, because he has a ton of mines, he doesn't have to worry about anything, and he's immediately going to look to go and set up a little bit of a soft contain here. Now, of course, with the dropship coming in here, this is going to be a very, very powerful play by Terra. But with all the mines, it's going to be almost impossible for Terra to be able to dodge the vision range of Scan. Now, there is two... Wait, did he actually manage to do it? Yeah, there's... Oh my god, he must have gone directly through the mines. So he's going to be able to get a dropship in the main. 2 tanks dropping off here, 3 tanks. Siege is done. You can see the SCVs pulling out immediately. But this is a very good position, and it's going to be very, very difficult for Scan to be able to break into this. Now, you can see from the minimap, Scan is bringing back all of his vultures. Oh, and did that mine go off? No, it didn't. Okay, so that's one little benefit. There's another dropship coming in, though. If he can reinforce this position with vultures, he is going to, with Goliaths, he is going to be in a very, very good spot, and a very tough spot to break. But the vultures are going to be able to get on top of the tanks. He has used all of his mines, so looks like this is going to be the end of this drop, but he did a lot of damage to all of those units, and mainly it was the delaying of the minerals and the mining that was a massive, massive problem for Scan. But Terra is now down in supply. He's very close, catching up very, very quickly, I might add. But importantly, he pulled Scan away from the front of his base, which is something he was definitely worried about. And look at this, he's got another drop in lieu here. He's going to wait until he knows that Scan is away from his main. And here we go, he scans in, he sees the units leaving. And here he's going to drop once again. Let's see how many kills this tank can get. Immediate pull away of those SCVs. Scan definitely playing this out well, but he denies the silencer for at least the time being. And he's going to be able to trade away on a couple of these tanks. Nice mine. Is he going to be able to get the second tank? That'd be very, very... Oh my god, the SCVs! The SCVs, is he going to target them properly? Oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't target the SCVs. That could have been an incredible amount of kills. But while that's been going on, Scan has continued his SCV production 59 to 52, but the supply lead is increasingly getting smaller here, and losing that final depot to the fire is actually going to make him supply blocked. And look at Scan, man, he gets supply blocked, he knows he's got a lot of minerals, he just adds 4 depots. He knows that mech units take a lot of supply to actually build, and he knows he needs them, so why not just build them while you've got the money? If you're a lower level player, building like 10 supply depots at a time when you've got a ton of money is not a problem. If anything, it's better to just not be supply blocked, especially in TVT, because look at this, I mean, despite the fact he was supply blocked, he's still not been able to be dwarfed in supply. Now, Terra's going to lose a couple of dropships again, and that's not a position you want to be in. The dropship is going to get away, and the units of Terra are going to be able to do a little bit of damage on this high ground, but not nearly as much as what he wanted to do. Now, he's going to try and pull back. The dropships have gone down, and that's supply that Terra doesn't necessarily want to deal with, and he's going to lose his wraiths as well. So Scan is in such a good position right now. Terra is nowhere near a third base just yet. And Terra is pretty much grabbing all of his army and just going for it. He's building a third base in his main. That's not where you want to be building this. But is he going to be able to set up a position in the middle of the map and contain Scan away? Look at Scan immediately sieging in the right location. But you can already see Terra is going to try and circumvent this by going around the top right hand side. Mines are going down on top of these tanks. Nice target firing there by Scan, going to clean them up. And let's see if Terra is able to break through. He does get 2 of the tanks. Can he get a third? There is... Oh, he gets a nice mine down. But there's no anti-air. And he lost both of his wraiths before. So while he is going to be able to push forward... I mean, this push is kind of on a life... Or is kind of on life support right now. We're going to have Scan sieging up on the high ground. Nice mines, though. Going to help deal with this. And he could still do a ton of damage. Nice double mine to clear up that tank. And let's see how this tank does against the siege line. That did get 4 kills overall, but still not the best. Scan is now up in 40, or up by 40 supply. And there's still no third base here for Terra. He's actually going to expand towards the mirror only. That isn't the best position to be in. He does have 3 factories pumping vultures, so it's not the worst. But the longer TVT goes on, the worse vultures get. We've got +1 attack done. +2 attack is 2/3 of the way done as well. Let's check Terra's upgrades. I think this is only just +1. So he's going to be very far behind in upgrades. And he's going to have to rely entirely on just map positioning to try and secure another gas base, because gas is going to be the really important resource here. Now Terra is going to, the shoe is on the other foot here with Terra building a ton of mines everywhere. He's getting some nice scans down to clear away Scan's mines as well, so nicely done by him. You can see Scan getting ready to take a 4th base here, get his 4th gas up, which is going to make it very difficult for Terra to be able to go through here. 30 supply up now is Scan, our South Korean hero, but Terra's holding on. He's still doing the best he can, and we'll have to see where he's going to expand to next. There's going to be a lot of tanks, a lot of vultures going to be heading over to this 9 o'clock location, because Scan knows if he can hold this base, if he can deny Terra from taking it, even if he doesn't win right now, he's going to win later on as Terra starts to starve out. Now he does have the option of pushing down to the bottom left, but I think we'll just see him siege on this position here. And there we go. He's going to siege on top of this ramp and make it very, very difficult to get through. Now Terra's not doing too bad on his macro. He's spending all of his money as it's coming in. Really, really difficult to do in a TVT, especially minerals. But look at this. Terra's actually going into Valkyries here to try and deal with the Wraith count that's starting to get a little bit out of hand. Where are the Wraiths actually for the Scan? It's so hard to find units in TVT. Here we go. He's actually going for 1, 2, 3, 4 Starport Wraith, 5 Starport Wraith even. No physics lab just yet, but it's likely going to see that coming up soon. He's going to be moving this out of the way so he can build a control tower there most likely. And when he goes up to 5 gas, that is when you know that Scan is pretty much in an unbeatable position if Terra cannot get his 5th gas as well. And I mean, Scan's still only on 2, oh, sorry, Terra's still only on 2 gas, only just now mining the 3rd. So it's not looking great for Terra, but of course it is a TVT. Both armies are going to be very, very big. And when +2 attack kicks in for Terra, it's already kicked in for Scan. Oh wow, it's actually really far away. That's going to make it very difficult for Terra to really be able to hold any positions without that +2 attack. So the temples in the middle are getting cleaned out. We can see Scan has taken his 5th base. He's got this gas over here that he's just now constructing, and he holds a position over the 9 o'clock. This is kind of the checkmate maneuver. Terra is going to be on a timer now. He has to try and secure this base and try and grab hold of this base. But the longer this goes on, +3 attack, no, he's going to skip +3 attack, and he's going to go for double starport upgrades because he is going battle cruisers. It's only a matter of time before they start coming out. There is absolutely no way this is just a mass wraith. I mean, surely this is BCs. He spread out all his starports. Yeah, there we go. Physics lab going to be coming in just a second. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye out for that, but there's definitely going to be a physics lab. There's absolutely no way he's moved that there for wraiths. Like, it doesn't make any sense to. Now, Scan, if he is going for BCs, if he is going for mass wraiths, he's going to have to secure or free up a little bit of supply. It's 200 versus 184. Looks like Terra is going to be the one trying to be aggressive at the same time. Scan being pulled out of position a little bit. If Terra can get a position over this high ground here, that's going to be pretty good. Now, there's a lot of wraiths here. They are going to get completely shredded by these Valkyries. But he's in a... Oh my god, Terra's actually going to have the high ground over Scan here. This is going to be a really nice trade here for Terra. It's going to be so hard for Terra to actually, or for Scan to actually be able to fight up into this. You can see his tanks going on the high ground, immediately going down. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more so we can see everything. Now the race coming in at the top, getting shredded immediately. And Terra is going to be the one taking a supply lead. But can he get some damage done? He's going to get vultures into the natural here. If he lays a load of mines, there's going to be no reinforcements coming to this. And Terra may just be able to take out those side bases. But the vulture's not really able to get too many mines down before going down. But is he going to be able to get some vultures up here to do some harass? Looks like he will do. And Terra, with this position in the middle of the map, has put Scan in a very awkward spot because Scan can't reinforce either or any of his extra gas bases actually. Oh my god, Terra needs to be careful though. He doesn't want to go flying headfirst into Scan's units. And it looks like maybe he's playing a little bit too overzealous. It is +2 attack against only +1. He is going to be able to trade quite effectively though. And he is going to be able to kill those units. I can hear a load of... oh, there we go. Wow, 14 and 12 kills. Terra is starting to pick Scan apart here. I didn't think it'd be possible, but he's 30 supply ahead. Now, he has lost a good number of tanks from the middle of the map. He's going to need to reinforce this high ground position. And if he can without losing everything, this will be very good. Look at this. The Vulture's going to be coming up, getting mines on top of these tanks, making the tanks harder for them to defend here. And if he gets a hard contain up, we don't have any dropships from our Terra Scan. No, from our Terran Scan. Now the Wraith's going to be doing a lot here. The Valkyries have been killed. The Goliath's coming back from the 3 o'clock base to try and defend, to try and hold on to the SCVs. Oh my god, the mine killing all the Vultures though. And Terra is getting cleaned up in the middle of the map. There is no 4th base yet for Terra, so he is... I neglect to say, I regret saying all in at this stage in the game. But he has just lost a lot of army. Terra is now down in supply again. Scan has continued to hold on, continued to produce. He has lost a lot of units, but you can already see he's still almost... Well, he's still above 50 workers after losing that many. That is ridiculous. Now, you can see Terra is going to come in and get some more damage done at this 3rd base. Not really going to be too impactful. But Scan did lose a lot of SCVs up here in the top right. Terra has lost the position in the middle of the map, which is a big, big move. Scan definitely needs to reclaim that if he can. But this is such an incredible, incredible game so far. But Terra, with the 2 side bases, going to be in an incredible spot. Now Terra looking to be taking the, I guess this is the 4 o'clock base here on this map. Scan is going to find it hard to really push in anywhere, but look at his tank count. This is just 12 tanks, and this is just what he's just macroed up. He's building tanks off of 6 factories. He's building wraiths when he builds them off of that 7 starports. He's going into another command center to take the middle of the map. And look at the amount of wraiths. How does Terra realistically deal with this? He needs a load of Valkyries. He needs a load of turrets. But this is a good way of dealing with it, getting a lot of damage done. But he definitely needs to keep his tanks alive. Scan now up 40 supply again. He's up in workers despite losing so many. And Scan is looking to push forward into this Minerality base. Terra needs to... Why is Terra not sieging his tanks? What is Terra doing? He's going to try and break these unsiege. Why not just siege? Make it impossible for Scan to push forward. I don't get this move. This could be the move that ends the game. The tanks... There's just way too many tanks from Scan. I don't get Terra's decision making there. He's down 90 supply. And GG. Terra throwing the game away at the end there for some reason, but really great game by both of these players, and such a sick game. What on earth was that decision at the end? I have no idea. I know Terra is very aggressive. Maybe he was worried that he couldn't hold on, but he had so many tanks he could have sieged, and he just didn't. Terra, why? You could have won that game still. It was anyone's game at that point. Oh well, it happens. I'll be back in a few minutes to rest my voice, and I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a PvP next. Sugo versus Bonif. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for some more STPL action. We just saw Terra take on Scan. Scan did win overall, which means SouL are currently 1-1 in the series. Obviously, Seriosity beating Perfume in game number 1. A really big upset, but really exciting game regardless. Now we're going to be heading into a PvP. It's going to be on PvP Central, I would say is this map's new name, because we've had so many of them. Let's have a look at the map, and then we can talk about it a little bit more. But it is Desperado. This is a very good map for Protoss, as there is 2 gases in the main, which for a race that needs tech, and that their tech units are so damn efficient, that's why this is pretty good for Protoss. But essentially Desperado, really cool map. We've had lots of cool PvPs on here, and hopefully this will be one as well. Now, let's have a quick look at our players. Starting us off for NaS, it's going to be the North American SouL, one of the actual USA players from the North American team, but SouL finding it hard to play STPL games, fitting in his 1,000-hour work weeks, but SouL is an amazing guy. He's a really good streamer as well. I can't remember what his stream is, but I should really put that in there under his Twitch. But he's 7 for 2 against Protoss, and he has some of the best PvP outside of Korea. Let's have a look at his opponent, though. His opponent going to be the best foreign, non-Korean Brood War player of the last, I would say, 3 years. I don't even think Ziki could stand up to Bonneth now. Bonneth is so strong. 8 for 1 against Protoss. He's only rank 11 in the STPL, though. But after some wins against some really good players, he's slowly catapulting his way up in that STPL ranking. And he's currently on an 8-win streak, which is just currently ridiculous. So, without further ado, let's get into game number 3. It's Bonneth versus SouL on Desperado. Okay, starting us off here at the top left-hand position, we do have from the US of A, it's SouL fighting for NaS. And his opponent in the wonderful magenta down here in the bottom right, a statistic from Days and Airy, is Bonneth fighting from Poland. He hasn't lost a single game since he joined SouL in the STPL. I'm not saying that means he has some Korean blood throwing through him or something. Maybe he's got a blood transfusion from Kingdom or Bisu or something, but he's doing really well. Now, Fujikura, aka Days and Airy in chat, is a North American himself, so it must be a little bit hard to root against his team, but essentially he's SouL's captain, so he's gonna want them to win here. And okay, I'm gonna call Days and Airy out here. I'm gonna call Fujikura out. He is the only captain that moans at me to make sure I post the weekly updates on the results, and I'm fairly certain it's so he can see who's like second, because no one can catch up to SouL right now. So on it, like, he knows that SouL have been winning every week as well, so honestly, like, he doesn't need to see the table because he knows that SouL's going to be at the top, but he asks anyway. Now, I don't know why he does that, but I'm glad he does because I'd forget otherwise. And I know he asked me yesterday to do the week 8 one, and I actually did forget, so I'm going to have to post that to Twitter after this, but there we go. So let's check the builds. We've got a Gate Gas Core coming in for Bonneth. We've got a Gate Gas Core coming in for SouL, so mirror builds in this mirror matchup. Mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? This PvP will be saying. Now, many people will say that's going to be Bonneth, but could SouL pull off a Christmas miracle here, although he played this a couple of weeks ago and beat Bonneth and take NaS up 2-1, which will be the closest that SouL have been to losing a series the entire way through STPL Season 2. Let's just reiterate, they are currently unbeaten in Season 2. And it's not because you can't beat Koreans. It's not. Because people have beaten the Koreans on SouL before. But looks like we're heading into crazy territory. But, like, should be cool. Nevertheless, we've got no second gateway for either player just yet. Obviously, no second gas, because going for two gas immediately is kind of pointless, but it is going to be range for both players. Both players are going to be scouting each other. Looks like SouL scouted a lot later than Bonith did, so that's pretty good. But yeah, the Korean teams aren't infallible. They have been beaten before. IRK beat SouL in Season 1. NetWars almost beat SouL in Season 1. And now SouL are actually sending out a lot of non-Koreans and they're still winning. So SouL is just a really strong team overall. Now Bonith is going to go for that second gas incredibly quickly. So we are going to have a very quick tech build coming out from him. But it depends what tech we're going to see. Now of course it is Christmas Eve, so hopefully you guys are having fun wherever you are. Obviously you are tuning in, which I'm very grateful for. I know many of you probably have a lot better things to be doing with your time, but you do choose to tune in and support the STPL, so thank you so much. We've got a Robo coming in for both players. I would imagine, oh yeah, we've got a Citadel coming in for Bonith as well. So Bonith is going to go for DT drop here with his two gases. That is going to be ridiculously strong on this map, but if SouL blind goes observers, which he's going to, this DT drop shouldn't do anything, which is pretty good. And Xloth, I know you didn't mean literally, but trouble is, there's a lot of people that genuinely do think that people outside of Korea just can't beat Koreans, and it's just not true. Like, Koreans, yes, the like highest level pros, they're probably not going to beat, but even then, Eon Zerg, Bonith, they take games off them on ladder. In a tournament, I would say no. But Korean amateurs like Scan, like just trying to think of some others, like Perfume, like Bishop, like Spire. Who did we see seriously? But that was Perfume. Like Noob, like YSC. A lot of the White Clan players, a lot of the VT players as well. Like, they are beatable. The skill difference is slowly closing in terms of like amateur Koreans and foreigners. It's not very tight. Like, there are still really good amateurs, and obviously the pros are kind of a step above everyone anyway. And you have amateurs like Soma, who are obviously getting a lot closer to pro level than foreigner level. But essentially, like, where the game is becoming a lot more open, where there's a lot of tournaments where Koreans are meeting foreigners and vice versa, I think genuinely that helps the skill gap decrease, because you get a lot more players practicing with Koreans. Like, I know DeWalt and Eon Zerg both went out to Korea to practice, so that did really help their skill level. And it's stuff like that, which is why I like STPL being global. I like seeing that skill gap slowly starting to like close. So, and landowner Scan is by definition a Korean amateur player. He's not a pro. He's never managed to qualify for any of the major tournaments. He didn't win ACS or anything like that. Like, Scan is obviously very good, and I know he's been in the military for a while, but until he actually gets into the top level tournaments with the top level players, and he gets there consistently, he's not going to be counted as a pro. Like, the Korean scene is actually quite difficult for amateur players to get anywhere, but here we go. Bonith is going to go in with his ET. 4 kills, 5 kills, 6 kills, 7 kills, 8 kills, 9 kills, 10 kills. Oh my goodness, SouL's just realized. 11 kills, 12 kills, 13 kills, and this is what it looks like to see a man die, everyone. Oh, there is an observer, but 14 kills have been made. The 12 days of Christmas are long over for this DT. He got a couple of bonus days in. And wow, what a drop. Now, SouL is... Oh my god, SouL's going for double Stargate over here. What on earth? Is he going to go mass scout? I mean, he's just lost all of his economy, so... Well, not all of it. He's still only 6 probes behind. Because he does have 2 bases, but... Really? Double Stargate? Is that carriers or is that going to be for scouts? Now, if Sugo... Genuinely, if Sugo goes for mass scouts here, I will have the most ultimate respect for him ever. Because going for mass scouts against Bonneth would be the ultimate humiliation move if he wins with it. And yeah, it's Sesame Street with kicks. I should have laughed afterwards, shouldn't I? Oh well. 14 probes. Xloth saying maybe he thinks he's versus Zerg. Oh my god, he's going carrier. But is he just gonna die? Wait, no, he's not gonna die. He's got 2 Reavers over here. Like, that isn't a way you can die. You can't push into this. Poor Rapid is gonna have to mind meld with me because he's losing his stasis cell over here. But really? 2 base carrier against Bonneth? Is that really where we're going? If this works, this is gonna be amazing. Can you imagine being the #1 foreigner player, like the #1 ranked foreigner realistically in probably the main ELO? He's not ranked 1 in STPL, but like everyone thinks it's between you and Eon Zerg really, or True Touch for who the top foreigner is, but you win Corrupted Cup 2019, and then someone goes to Stargate Carrier for you, against you, and they win. Like, just imagine that for a second. But there's gonna, oh my god, there's gonna be a storm drop. Let's see if Sugo can defend against this. Is he gonna split? No, he doesn't. Oh my god, lots of damage being done yet again to the economy of Sugo here. But I mean, Sugo has got 2 Nexuses. He's done a pretty good job keeping up his probe production, and we've only just now got the second base coming in for Bonneth. And Jan is saying, don't carriers just die to everything Protoss has? Not really. Dragoons are not very strong because they fire so slowly, so Interceptors are very good. Mind Control, as Landowner pointed out, is very, very good, but it does take a lot of energy. It takes a long, long time as well, so that's not something you can realistically rely on unless you scout the carriers. Scouts are pretty much the ultimate counter because they completely melt carriers in the air. Corsairs do nothing. Carriers, obviously good against carriers, but it's very rare you get to see that. But it's either going to be scouts or mind control. Storm's pretty good against carriers as well because they do move very slowly. Oh my god. Is Bonneth going to see that? Bonneth doesn't see it. He has no idea, and he's got no way of scouting into the base because he did delay his observatory for so long. I mean, he did have... Wait. He had an observer. He only built 1 obs. What on earth? Why would you only build 1 obs in this situation? What else are you building out of your robotics facility? He's got a second one, but he's never gone scout with it, I don't believe. So, I mean, Bonneth's scouting around. He looks like he's going to block the 3rd base possible from Sugo. I think he was just scouting for a 3rd base over in the top right. But he's not seen the he's not seen this, the carriers. And apologies, apparently I missed another drop, so my mistake. I guess that must have been the... Yeah, that must have been the storm drop again, sorry. I'll check it at the end, we'll go back and check, so it was around 11 minutes. I don't think he did too much damage though. There's not really that many, there's not that many probes over here anyway, and he didn't really rebuild them, so... The main story is these carriers, because he's got 2, he's going up to 4, he's going to have the Fleet Beacon carrier interceptor upgrade, so he's going to have full interceptors, and he's going to be able to go in and absolutely ravage the main... He could kill both Nexuses. All he has to do is kill both Nexuses and he wins the game, but there's no additional Reavers, so... Oh my god, the Storm of the Reaver is going to be very, very strong. Looks like Bonneth going to try and break through. Is there too much here for Bonneth? Both the Reavers go down, and with the Reavers going down, there's not enough units on the ground anymore, and the carriers are going to be forced to come back to defend before they're ready. And it looks like Bonneth may have just got enough to break through. GG. The carriers don't do anything. And Sugo, unfortunately, unable to hold up. And I'm very sorry, Dark Phil, but there is going to be a tomorrow. You don't need to be crazy. And let's have a look. Back over here, we're going to be going into game number 4 after this very short break. It's going to be a ZVZ, so I know we're continuing with the mirror matchups, but that seems to be this matchup today. Bonnet does take that, takes SouL up 2-1, and it's going to be a game between, let me just double check, it's EonZerg and Zealot. So it's going to be a top foreigner versus a top Korean amateur in a ZVZ on New Outlier. You won't want to miss it. It'll be back in just a minute. See you guys very soon. Okay guys, we are back for game number 4 of today's series. So we've had some pretty sick games between SouL and NaS so far. Hyun, it is working. I need to change the name of it because somehow it's gone from AMA to 500. I don't know how, I don't know what I did, but I'll need to fix that. You know what, I can probably fix that fairly soon if I can figure out how it works. But either way, doesn't really matter too much. I've answered your question anyway. Now let's have a look at the map. It is going to be a ZVZ, so map features don't come into it too much, but it's all good. So if we actually have a look here, map stats, bringing them up. It's going to be a ZVZ. It's going to be our 8th ZVZ on this map. This map has seen a lot of Zerg players being sent out, despite the fact they're struggling a lot in ZVP. Looks like Zergs are not really that bothered, because getting 8 ZVZs on a map is pretty ridiculous. But either way, 3-player map, top left, bottom left, and bottom right hand spawns. There is island bases you can take kind of at the back if you break through the temples or jump over the minerals. So they're semi-island based, I guess, but it is a ZVZ, and we've got EonZerg and Zealot playing. And just to go back here a second, if you don't know who EonZerg is, he is arguably, without doubt actually, he's without doubt the most aggressive foreign Zerg player, and Zealot is without doubt currently the most aggressive Korean amateur Zerg player. So I don't think this game is going to last very long, but we live in hope. But obviously, if EonZerg can win here, we're going to go to an ace match, which will be a season first here for SouL, as no one has yet to take them to an ace match. And if Zealot does win this, he is on match point, so SouL will win their 9th series in a row. But let's have a look at our players just to introduce them a little bit more. And if we have a look, EonZerg is a fantastic player, ranked 7 in the STPL overall, one of the foreigners in the top 10. He's 7 for 1 against Zerg, and he's got a 77% win ratio overall. He is a really, really powerful Zerg player, and his opponent going to be Zealot for SouL. He's only ranked 23 because he's not played too many amazing players, but he's slowly climbing up the ranks here. He's got an 85% win ratio, and the only Zerg he played against was Zero, where he did win. So unfortunately, Mr. Zero unable to take the game off Zealot, but is EonZerg going to be able to? We'll have to find out as we get into game number 4. It's EonZerg versus Zealot, and it's on New Outlier. And we have quite possibly the worst colors in the world, but that's fine. We'll figure it out. I can't do shift tab before you ask. Starting us off here in the top middle position, we do have the Malachite Zerg player fighting for SouL, fighting for NaS even. It's Eon Zerg. And this game was played pre-patch, so starting us off down here in the bottom left-hand corner is my favorite color in Brood War. I am so upset they removed it. It's the Cyan Zerg player fighting for SouL from South Korea. It's Zealot. Now the good thing is both of the units look different. It's just on the minimap there's a problem, but that's fine. This was played pre-patch. If you didn't know, I was actually quite ill for the last like 4 weeks, so I did skip out on a lot of casts, which is why I'm a little bit behind, but I'm not too far behind. I'm slowly catching up. And the good news is for you guys, if you like the STPL, after Christmas, heading into the new year, there is going to be a lot of STPL streams heading your way over the next 2 weeks, so it should be a lot of fun. And Ron, no problem. Thanks for watching, man. Hopefully you're enjoying what you're seeing so far. I think this is the first time I've seen you in chat, so really, really cool. Now we've got Zealot going for a 9 hatch into a 9. Oh, sorry, a 9 pool into a 9 gas. Looks like we had Eon Zerg go for gas first into a pool, so gas is going to be a little bit quicker, which means speed is going to be quicker, which means lair is going to be quicker here for Eon Zerg. Neither player going for a 12 hatch or anything like that, but Eon Zerg building everything on 9. Zealot, I think, may have built everything on 11. Yeah, he's 1 additional drone up at the moment, so got my timings mixed up a little bit. Can't do shift tab because unfortunately, despite the rule being they play on top versus bottom, they didn't. So we're going to have to grin and bear it for this game, but luckily enough for me, I don't have too much trouble distinguishing blues and greens, so should be cool. Now, Eon Zerg is going to be pushing forward across the map with 6lings immediately, and we're going to have Zealot with 6lings of his own in position to defend. But looks like Zealot wants to be a little bit more aggressive. Now, this could be a big mistake. Neither of them know where each other spawned just yet. So it's going to be 2 lings coming from behind. There's going to be 6 lings at the bottom of the ramp. But this gives Eon Zerg an opening. Can he get in and do some damage? Of course, Eon Zerg playing for NaS. He needs to win this game if he wants to keep the dreams alive for NaS. But if Zealot wins this, SouL will win their 9th series in a row. Now, 2 Zealots from Zealot going to go in behind for a backstab here, and that could be a very strong maneuver. Now, let's actually have a look. Speed is not on the way here for Eon Zerg, but lair is immediately coming. And looks like we are going to have speed for Zealot, so this could be quite difficult for Eon Zerg. Wait, no, speed's already done. So he did get speed, and here we go. He's going to try and get down the ramp before speed is done. This is the perfect timing. The extra Zerglings are not going to be able to come back in here to defend. There's 2 lings even going up to the top middle. There's actually, oh my god, the Spire's going to get targeted. He cancels the Spire. That's absolutely massive. He gets 1 drone, 2 drones, 3 drones. And he's going to get these lings as they come out, but let's have a look in the main base. There's 2 lings versus 2 lings. No drones have gone down, and Eon Zerg is finding himself in a fantastic position in this game. He's up 3 drones. He's still got a ling advantage. But the final ling, is he going to be able to get another drone? Yes, he is. 4 drones only do remain here for Zealot. Another couple of lings are popping out, but there's 4 more lings on the way from Eon Zerg. And Eon Zerg looks like he may have done it. He has taken down the mighty Zealot, 2 times qualified for the ASL. Round of 24 is Zealot here. So this is an incredibly good game by Eon Zerg as well. Great micro. I believe this will play turn rate 16 most likely, and GG, Zealot taps out, and Eon Zerg is gonna take us to the ace match as he ties the series up 2-2. I mean, if we were listing like the perfect situation for Eon Zerg, that's it. He gets in, he does damage with his lings, and he just continues to ride it back. Now, Zealot is one of the best early game Zerg players in Korea right now. He's one of the most aggressive Zerg players as well. and he managed to do it. Now we're going to go straight into the ace match when we get back after this short break. I'm going to give you a few minutes in chat to try and discuss who you think it's going to be, and if you're right, you get to pat yourself on the back. But see you guys in a few minutes for game number 5.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Okay, we have a ton of Matrino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matrino link, it brings up the Matrino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. That'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it'll add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie. STPL does. Bio TVP. Wow! You got it. STPL does. Mass Scouts? No problem. Broadcast 3 nights a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2100 CEST. Fantastic casting, fantastic production, fantastic prizes. Only here on the STPL. Did you know Reavers could be this radical? How did these lings even get here? All I know is that's one dead base. STPL does. Wraiths, Valkyries, Carriers, and Corsairs. Forget about it. You won't see that anywhere else. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. DT's doing game-ending damage? Name a more iconic duo. We've even got carriers in PvZ. How amazing! A global team league on the scale you've never seen before. Don't see this in BWCL, STPL does. All that and more. Only on this amazing 64-bit STPL. What BWCL don't. Impressed? I know I am. Why not support us on the link below? Patreon.com/ Okay, welcome to the ace match of SouL versus NaS. Starting us off for SouL here in the 12 o'clock position, or 1 o'clock position. It is our Red Terran fighting for SouL. It's Scan. And his opponent, of course, it's another mirror. It's a rematch. Down here in the bottom right hand corner, we do have in the blue fighting for NaS. It's Terra. Now, the fact it's going to be another TVT does not surprise me whatsoever. Scan did recently win in their last game, but it was a very close game. A little weird couple of decisions. Lost Terra that TVT. It went on for 20 minutes. It was on Carthage 3, and it was an amazing game. And let's see if Terra is able to do things differently this time. Can he right the wrongs from before and give SouL their first loss in the STPL Season 2? Or is Scan gonna stay as strong as he always is and hold on and possibly take the top spot in the STPL ELO system? We'll have to find out. A big difference compared to last game is we do not have Scan going for an 8 racks in the middle of the map. Both of them playing very, very standardly, both going for gas after a racks, and things looking pretty good. And yeah, sorry, Fuji, that's because the matches add all at once at the end of the stream, so that's why nothing's changed in terms of stats. As a matter of fact, I believe if I was to check, yeah, no, even if you check the player history, it doesn't show up, but that's fine. There's a reason for that. It's because otherwise the overlay breaks. This isn't live. This is in fact cast from replays. Now, usually the replays would be cast they would have been casted from the previous Sunday, but this was from, I believe, a couple of weeks ago, where I was ill for a bit. I couldn't really cast, so I fell a little bit behind. But essentially, the games are played from replays, not only because there's 7 best of 5s played in a single week, and they're also global. So we have players from all over the world. For example, we've got Peru versus South Korea here. It would be feasibly impossible for me to cast them all at once, and also it would be very aggravating for the players to have to put up with someone casting the game live and having lag and stuff. So it works out better for everyone. Looks like Alderiz, who just asked if this was live, is also cheering for Peru. Viva Peru. Vamos, isn't it? Is it Vamos? I can't remember what Vamos means, though. I know someone was like Vamos Terra, Vamos Peru or something in the Corrupted Cup chat, so... Get you, Barbara, saying that TVT is the worst matchup ever. That is definitely Zerg versus Zerg. Now both players going to be scouting with their barracks here. Nothing too surprising. Now Terra is going to go for double vulture. He did this last time as well. Looks like Scan is going to do exactly the same thing. Wow, Scan actually going triple vulture before add-on. I wonder if he's trying to second guess that Terra is probably going to build an add-on after 2. And that's going to give him the early game advantage because, yeah, Scan's going to build his add-on. No, he's going to go triple vulture as well. This is such a strange play. It's very, very rare you would see this, but Scan already with his starport up. Terra went for a command center first and then into a second factory after his initial factory. So the advantage here is going to go to Scan. Terra definitely needs to get on the high ground with his vultures. He's going to pull a few SCVs down here as well. Now, using that vulture on the high ground of the round, doing a pretty good job. There is a bunker coming up, but he's killed all of the Marines. And Terra's actually doing a very good job holding on here. Nicely done. The bunker's cancelled. And as long as Terra holds on, as long as he continues to build SCVs, as long as he gets some form of anti-air, which he will do as he's getting his armory, Terra is in a massive advantage in this game, and that's definitely different compared to the last one where things were relatively even. So Terra has a very good shot here at beating Scan, and still no add-on for Terra. I mean, vulture upgrades are so good. It's so strange to not see that add-on come in sooner, but the fact he didn't go for the add-on actually may have just saved him. That was a very nice defense. Now, Scan is an absolute beast when it comes to macro. You can see his supply is catching up. He's only down 2 workers, so Terra definitely needs to make sure that he's building SCVs off of both of these both the command centers. And this is the major difference between top foreign players and Korean amateurs, like the best ones like Scan. Even under pressure, you need to be building SCVs off of every single command center, especially in a TVT. And I mean, he's building turrets. Scan isn't going for mass wraith. Yes, this is 2 wraiths, but honestly, 2 Goliaths should be able to clean this up. You can see that Terra's macro is slipping a little bit. He's not building SCVs off of both command centers at the same time, not sending to mine, and he's not building 2 Goliaths at the same time either. So Scan definitely evening out the score there. evening out the supply as well. The expansion is obviously a lot later, but there is SCV parity right now, so Scan doing a very good job. And SouL is looking like they're on a path again to get a very good win. Now, Scan has gone for two tanks here. Last game we saw Terra was doing really well, and then he ran into tanks and died, so hopefully that's not going to happen this time. He's got mines which will stop the tanks pushing forward, and Scan, no way, in any way, shape or form, has the ability to build a scanner right now. Oh, the mine's getting killed immediately. Nicely done. That's so difficult to do. And you can see Scan is going to put down his barracks here, start building some marines to be very annoying. And he is going to be able to siege up here and siege down this gas if Terra tries to take it. And if you siege here, you can also siege the command center. So Scan is in a very good spot. We've got Mass Goliath coming out here for Terra. That's not going to help him against this mass tank coming out here from Scan. But it is only one factory at a time. He's going to be up against 4 tanks. No, that's 3 tanks. And let's see if Terra can break through. We saw Terra through the gateway similarly last time, but let's hope we're not going to see that this time. One of the mines goes off. Luckily enough, not getting a big mine drag off or anything. Goliaths are pretty good against tanks in low numbers, but look at Scan's micro moving back with absolute perfection. And Terra, I mean, he's not getting too much out. That Scan now has his expansion almost done. He has he has a supply advantage, he has a tech advantage, and he's got more tanks. And look at this, he's sieging in the middle, he's repairing his tanks. He knows how important each and every single one of these units are, and he may even be able to snipe this engineering bay, even snipe the armory. And if the Goliaths go back to defend against this, watch what Scan's going to do with his tanks. He will unsiege and he will go again. And that is the power of Scan. Terra definitely looking a little bit shaken in this game. Not playing as strong as he normally would do. His APM is still pretty high. His macro isn't doing too badly. But he should have way more SCVs at this point. And that's the real stark difference. To be in such an amazing position at the beginning, you can really see the small little details, especially in a mirror matchup, which separates the good from the very best. And you can see that if you were to watch Scan face against Flash as well. But essentially, Scan just showing is a little bit of a cut ahead of Terra in this matchup. And it's a bit of a shame because Terra was doing really, really well. But it's just those small, minute mistakes that start to build up. And that's what Scan can jump on. And I mean, he's going to be able to kill this gas. It's going to knock Terra down to 1 gas, which is not where you want to be in a TVT. And he's going to go for it again. I think this could be the death blows of Terra because he wants to break out. He's playing too impatient again. He's worried he's going to lose the game later on. And that forces him to make these snap decisions. But they just don't work out. He's lost most of his SCVs now. He's only got a single tank to defend. He would have had 2 if he hadn't pushed forward. Now the SCV is going to come out. They will help us Scan immediately unsieging his tanks. Obviously I'm burrowing. That would be incredibly broken if you could do that. But GG, Terra taps out, Scan wins game number 5. As I was saying, Terra was doing a fantastic job in the early game. He defended the early game aggression from Scan perfectly. But it was after that you could just see the small little cracks start to appear in Terra's play. And it all started because 2 wraiths got into his base. And that's one of the things that if Terra wants to improve, I know this is just me with my B rank brain saying this, but if Terra can iron out those problems in his play, he is going to be an incredible TVT player. But he just needs to try and learn to play a little bit better under pressure, because that's what Scan excels in. Scan is amazing at putting pressure on his opponents, not only just by what he does in the game, but just the mental thought of going against someone like Scan is so difficult. And it's why I do not envy players like Terra who do it on a very, like, how do I put this? A very... what's the word? A very frequent basis. There we go. It's so hard to play against someone like that, and you saw why. Scan is a cut above the rest, even in the STPL ELO system, and that is 100% why. So let's actually have a quick look at the results, then we'll wrap up the stream. But Terra did a very good job. He should definitely not feel bad. He played better in game number 1. But Terra, I mean, he's got some stuff to work on for sure. Now, going through the results, Seriosity taking down Perfume in his EVP. Did the same build he did against DeWalt. DeWalt managed to hold it, Perfume didn't, so really good job. Scan taking down Terra in a 22-minute amazing TBT. Very, very close cut on both sides. PvP between Bonith, a little bit more one-sided with Bonith taking down Sugo. Eonzerg with a very technical and very aggressive win over Zealot in Neo Outlier to take us to the ace match. And then Scan bringing it home for SouL yet again. Gonna put SouL up 9-0 in Season 1. Now, if they do get seeded, 1 second. When they get seeded, if they are still in first position, it means they will be going into the semi-finals immediately of the playoff brackets. So SouL definitely want to do that. They want to try and avoid the best teams as well. But they've still got games against some of the best teams coming up, I believe. Wait, I can't remember if they've played against White Clan or not, which is kind of crazy. We have had 9 weeks of STPL, so please forgive me. I believe they beat White Clan. They beat White Clan in season 1. Yeah, they did play against White Clan already, and they did win 4-0. So that's a difficult thing to do. But let's quickly cut it back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close my overlay and reopen it so we can have a look at how that changes the results table. Overall, we're middle of the way through week 9. We'll be finishing week 9 on Friday for sure. I'll be working Friday, but after work we'll get streaming. But let's have a look at the results table so far through where we are. Where are we? Team rankings. Here we go. So SouL continue to cement their position up first, but they have lost 2 additional games. They are no longer 30. They were 30-1 before, and before that they were actually like unbeaten the whole time. But really, really nicely done job by SouL. NaS are going to drop down to 8th position. They do have a little bit of a buffer over Ash and NetWars because, but Ash and NetWars still have their games to play, so they could actually take over NaS here. But NaS have got a pretty good win rate in the actual games, so that's going to look good for them. Now, if you don't know the way the format works, essentially the top 8 teams are going to get seeded into the playoff bracket. Number 1 and 2 are going to go straight into the semi-finals, and the number 3 and 4 are going to go into the quarterfinals, and the other 4 teams are going to battle it out in like the, I don't know what you'd call it, like the round of 8, and fill out the quarterfinals. And obviously the winner of the quarterfinals will go on to face the semi-final teams, and then we'll go into the finals. So we're getting very, very close to the playoff bracket. Of course, we're very close to the end of 2019 as well. It's been a fantastic year, at least for the STPL. Thank you so much for all the support you've given it. If you do want to help it even more, follow the stream, watch the stream. If you can support monetarily, there is a Patreon, there is a Matrino page, all of the links you can get to underneath. There's also some really cool stuff you can get on Patreon that I'll make for you. So if you are interested in that, do hit that up. If you can follow us on Twitter as well, that would really, really help. You can follow STPL TV and KicksSD and retweet when the STPL goes live. That would be a massive, massive help. And of course, sub on YouTube. And more importantly, just keep watching STPL, because it's you guys that make this possible. Because honestly, I don't think any of the teams would bother signing up if they'd known only 10 people would be watching. So thank you so much once again for the support. I'll be back on Friday, so I'll see you before the new year. But have a very wonderful Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, or however you say that. I don't know what the correct term is. Have a very good holiday season, and I'll see you guys on Friday for some more STPL action before the new year. Have a very good evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you are. Ciao. Just before I go, of course, a massive shout out to Liquipedia, our wonderful sponsor. It's an amazing resource. Use it. It's pretty good. Ah, okay, there's a leave button for the raid. Okay, I didn't know how that worked, Landloader. But yeah, Liquipedia are going to be doing a bracket contest at the end of the tournament. They've donated $500 to the prize pool, and a huge shout out to Matrino as well. Hit the link below for Matrino and enter the code